Donald Trump continued to demonize migrants, legal migrants, in towns in both Colorado and Ohio. Take a look.
Criminal havoc throughout the country. Aurora, Colorado, you saw that, where Venezuelan gangs are taking over real estate. They become real estate developers. How nice? No, they're taking over real estate, and they have weapons that even our military hasn't seen. In Springfield, Ohio, so you have a town of 50,000 people. They have 32,000 migrants put into the town almost overnight. And the people are so nice. You know, they want to be nice. They say, well, the mayor is actually looking for interpreters. He's looking all over for interpreters because they can't understand. The language is totally different. What the hell? I'm sorry. You have to move the people back to the country from which they came.
So much wrong in there, Congressman Ryan. We can go through it. For one thing, the mayor of Aurora, Colorado, has come out and say, we arrested 10 gang members. We are not overrun by gangs. Our city has not been taken over. But Donald Trump has latched on to this thing that has taken on a life of its own in certain media circles on the front page of certain newspapers and made it a thing, which brings us to Springfield, Ohio, your home state, and the lie at the very center of everything that's been going on there about Haitian immigrants here legally under temporary protected status, eating cats, eating dogs. They're not, of course, as the mayor and the governor and many others have said before, but that hasn't stopped J.D. Vance and Donald Trump from pushing this and continuing to lean into it. What's your assessment of what's been going on in Springfield and what's happening to the people there?
I think it's tragic. I mean, you know, I come from, I'll tell you, Youngstown, Ohio, old industrial town. Springfield has had hard times. So they're trying to repopulate. They're trying to rebuild. The business owners want these workers. There was no problems. I mean, former Congressman Dave Hobson, Republican, who's from there, represented that area for a long time, said there was zero problem. Were they trying to assimilate? Yes. Do they need issues with housing and health care? Yeah, there are some issues, but a net positive. And the people of the community love these Haitian immigrants who came. I think this is just an indicator, Willie, of just how crass Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are. They don't give a damn about who they use, which bodies they step over in the process to gain power. And I think it's sickening that they would use these immigrants. All they want to do is scare people. They want to scare us about immigrants. They want to scare everybody about the liberals are coming to get you. The transgender people are coming to get you. World War III is going to happen. The economy is going to collapse. It's so fear-based. I think they're two scared little boys who want everyone else to be scared with them. And what they're doing is how hard is it going to be? I spent 20 years in Congress. Joe, you remember this. So much of your job is economic development. How do you get businesses to come to your congressional district, to your town? Can you imagine a sitting senator in a state absolutely destroying the economic well-being of a community for your own political purposes? Your job is to represent these people. Your job is to stick up for these communities, and you're destroying them. And it's sickening to watch this happen, because I know, and many others watching this program know, how difficult it is after 30, 40, 50 years of globalization, automation, for these communities to kind of try to rebuild. Here they are, successful Republican mayor, working with Republican business people, Democratic workers, immigrant workers, and you go in and you torch the place. I think this is an indicator for most Americans. If you want to look at what the character of these two gentlemen is, and I say that term loosely, if you want to see their character, you're seeing it with this issue.
Well, also their ideology, Michael, still. I mean, I say back when I was a Republican, we Republicans, we liked businesses growing. We would not let a made-up culture war get in the way of businesses on the ground. What did we always say? We always said that the best social program was a job, right? And that's what's happening in Springfield. And when you talk to the small business owners there, when you talk to the people there, they will tell you their economy has been revived by legal immigrants coming in, working hard, pursuing the American dream. They're doing, why this is so radical. Nobody could have seen this coming except, well, everybody. Ronald Reagan, in his farewell speech on January 19th, 1989, he said exactly what people in Springfield are saying, who are those business owners? We are revived. We are made younger. We are on the cutting edge when we have immigrants coming to our country and building on the American dream, chasing the American dream, taking these jobs that a lot of native-born Americans don't want. That's what the business owners are saying there. That's what the factory owners are saying there. And they're saying they work at their stations, they work hard, they grow this business, they grow the economy. That's exactly what they're doing. So Donald Trump is going in, and J.D. Vance is like carpet bombing with rhetoric, saying Springfield, this is terrible, instead of trying to scare people away from Springfield, trying to scare people away from Aurora, Colorado, when the mayors of that town, the small business owners of those towns, the factory owners of those towns are saying, hey, not only are we fine, we're getting better because these legal immigrants have come in and they're working hard and going, and they're chasing the American dream, and that's lifting all of us up. That's lifting our economy up. That's lifting local restaurants up. That's lifting the real estate market up. I mean, oh my gosh. Well, that sounds like the free hand of capitalism working.
Yeah, it's amazing what markets do, and especially what markets do in the hands of the immigrant who comes here looking to fulfill a dream. Coming to take advantage of the opportunities that everyone else here has, asking for no more or no less. The immigrants into the communities we're talking about, particularly in Springfield, they invested in that community, and the community actually invested in them. So much so that they were flying the flag, for these Haitian immigrants in their own community. They were, taking advantages of the businesses they were opening. They weren't just working for people in the community. They were opening up businesses that those in the community could come and take advantage of, the services that they offered, the food that they provided, etc. And yet you have two outsiders who took a lie and have twisted that lie to the point where it foments hate and mistrust and fuels a negative economy. And that is what Donald Trump is all about. It's about a negative economy. It's a negative conversation. It's a negative, moment in which you realize, oh, wow, things are really bad. But then you stop and you go, well, wait a minute, but I'm working. I have an opportunity, and I'm taking advantage of what others are bringing to my community that we didn't have. Springfield had lost a lot of its population. It went from 80,000 down to 50,000. And this community was welcomed there. And Donald Trump has spat on their achievements and spat on their opportunity. And America should be ashamed of the former president.
It is shameful.